So yeah, again, there is a lot of content here in the free-to-play. But yeah, that is the introduction to Ryzom. I wanted to stop and probably cover it because, again, this is like a 2000s era MMO, which is a bit of a weird one. But I never played WoW, so when everyone else is jumping into classic MMOs and stuff like that, I mean, I wouldn't have played classic WoW anyway, but you know, a more recent version of WoW perhaps. But nevertheless, that wasn't my bag. So the nearest thing that I have to a classic MMO experience would probably be I played a little bit in, I think, Vanguard Saga of Heroes right before it closed down. So that was like 2014 or something like that. I think literally I played it for like 3 months before it closed. This and things like Eve. But this came out on Steam in 2016. You can just run it through the Steam client. But the standalone client still exists, which is what I'm actually running on right now because it captures better for streaming. All right. Now, thank you very much, everyone, for bearing with me while I was explaining the game. What kills do people still need to complete their quests? I still have 2 Prime Forest Raspal meats that I need to collect. Haiku only needs the chitin. Leafin also needs Raspals. Miavan needs Raspals and chitin. Okay, well, if you want to lead the way onto some Raspals, Miavan needs nothing. Oh, Miavan was just saying that it's Raspals and chitin that are needed. Right, got you. All right then. Well, lead the way to the Raspals and we shall follow. But again, thank you so much for the raid, Wasted. I hope you had fun in Space Engineers, and I hope you had fun with your kit bashing. And Orcs, I will have to check out the VODs and see what you managed to do. I've got currently one. I'm not even sure what game it's from. I just saw it in a model shop and thought that would be nice to paint, so I picked it up. And a box of Space Wolves to paint because I like Space Wolves. Okay, shush. I know it's meme-ish, but you got to admit they're more interesting models to paint than your standard Astartes. Go. This orc kit bashing turned out great. Won't spoil it if you don't want me. No, don't spoil it because I will check it out in the vaults. I actually love watching that sort of stuff. Oh, the amount of times when I'm like too tired to sleep or not tired enough to sleep, where I'll just kind of crash on the couch and I'll stick on some kit bashing videos on YouTube. Not necessarily like minis or stuff like that, but just someone making a model or a diorama or something. I spend entirely too much time watching those, frankly. Right, I have got my Raspal, so now it's just a chitin. 4 types of Kippy, 2 types of Kizor. Who else needs Raspals? How many people still need it, if any? My character at the moment, for any of the raiders that are trying to decipher what's going on, I am currently trying to level my defensive magic specifically, as ultimately I want to go into defensive afflictions, so things like fear, sleep, that sort of stuff. That's where I realistically want most of my magic to be, but also, you know, healing as a backup. So, silly question, but can you make a skill that costs HP and heals you? Heals you? No. Generally speaking, you can only apply things to others, and that's by design. this again came from the kind of 2000s era MMOs where there was less of a drive to make them single playerable. The whole idea was it was multiplayer, but you do have some skills. For example, down here, I've got a self heal, and the only credit I have there is how much time. So basically, this is a long cooldown self heal, and I have that for all of the primary stats: focus, stamina, sap, and HP. But that's more of a emergency button than anything else. Yeah, it's a panic button, as Leafin says there. Generally speaking, we rely on each other, even down to things like mana. I've got the ability to give someone else mana, and I actually pay mana and health for that because it is a wildly good exchange. Like, so I can give 167 mana to someone in exchange for 55 mana from me and 35 hit points. So between if two people have a similar spell, we can basically top each other's mana up, and obviously we're probably also healers and we'll be able to top each other's health up. We'll be generating more mana and health bouncing between ourselves, especially if you use a bomb style spell like I do, because it'll affect multiple people for the full amount. But I do have, down here, I've got my kind of single target heals, sap and stuff like that, that purely just runs off sap. So I only spend mana on it. But in a pinch, I can switch over to ones that use health as well. And if I particularly want to, I have got, well, I don't have them there at the moment because I've disabled them for now, but I have run with kind of emergency restoratives, which purely drain my health in order to cast. So, for example, if two casters had completely bottomed out on mana and had like hard locked themselves, I'd be able to restart the chain by just using up quite a lot of health in order to send them a large mana restore, and then that would kickstart the whole engine again. They could send me mana, and then back and forth until we were back up to full fighting power. I am following you right now, Isdar. You are leader. You and Miavan. Don't pay any attention to that star in the team. It says that Leafin is a leader, but we all know that Leafin is not the leader. No leader. Nope. Leafin is far too willing to run away and blame it on a lack of mana. Which, in this game, technically is always true. I have no mana. What do you want me to do? We don't have mana. We've got sap. And as we all know, technically correct is the best form of correct. The need for group is probably my biggest detriment of this game for me. I played WoW nearly exclusively solo. Yeah, there's definitely MMOs out there which cater more to solo play than others. This one, there's a lot of things you can do solo, but everything is easier in a group. Like, if I'm just out hunting by myself, there's plenty of times where I will kill one mob and then immediately have to sit down, because when the longer you're sat, you get ramping multipliers added to your regen rate. So if you sit down to start regenning, even if you need to regen a lot, you're going to continue to ramp up how fast you regen for the longer that you're able to sit still in peace. But yeah, your progress is going to be a bit slower as a consequence. But there's quite a few actions which are completely fine on your own, especially like in harvesting. Harvesting can be a very solo experience, not necessarily the best experience solo, because if you've got a pocket caregiver, they will make sure that you don't accidentally anger the planet and get exploded. You've also got different resistances on creatures. So, for example, chitin are particularly vulnerable to cold. So, you'll notice the mages all switch over to their ice spells for taking them on. You know, typical MMO fare. What? I don't want to defend Leafin, but a leader should be at the back and be the only survivor if it comes to that. Leafy Pew, you and I are diametrically opposed. I come from Wales. My ancestors were Celts. Our chieftains fought on the front lines, and if they died to an arrow through the eye, well, that was just the way it went. And their loyal guards would stand and die over the corpse if that's what it came to. Man, leaders leading from the back, pshaw. Pshaw, I say. How can you lead effectively if you can't see what's happening at the front? I'm going to go back into healer mode. Next, you're going to say if you were in a tank, you wouldn't be hanging out of the tank, demanding that it drives you closer to the thing you're trying to shoot in order to hit it with your sword. Imagine being the sort of person who would hide at the back of the charge. My goodness. That's not how you instill morale and loyalty in your troops. Or fear in your troops, depending on what kind of commissar you want to be. Yeah, I'm sorry, Leafy Pew, but the moment you start having to deal in quarters and thirds and eighths of your heritage, that is no longer worth mentioning. I'm sorry. Okay. If one parent was from one nation, another parent was from another nation, sure. If your grandparents were, okay, as long as it was still more or less an even split. But the second you start like, I am 1/16th German, 1/27th Native American, and it's like, oh my lord, really? If you happen to go back that far in your family tree in order to claim that you've got some sort of connection, you don't have a connection. Welcome to America. Oh no, I'm not trying to call any nations out specifically, but it is kind of silly, let's be honest. The moment fractions get involved, it doesn't count. I would definitely say, look, you know, if your father's French and your mother is Italian, you can 100% bring that up in conversation. But you know, once you're like, my great-great-great-grandfather once had a German bunkmate, that makes me part German. It's like, no, it does not. Shut up. I once saw a Frenchman. That basically makes me French. No, it does not. Taunt balked, need to relog. Okay, me and Van. By the way, after the stream, I will make a point of dropping a support ticket to try and fix the Guildhall chest situation we've got. Once that's resolved, I imagine it's going to be a big help. Oh dear, we've got, oh no, the melee. The melee were not communicating, and as such, we are now dealing with two groups. I will do my best to heal both. Leafin is dead. I'm not too surprised. Weird. I died. How did that possibly happen? I can basically trace my lineage across just a 2,209 kilometer squared area. I mean, to be fair, there are various reasons why my family tree has kind of been traced back. There's a couple of books written on them, but like a very long time. We're going back into like the 1600s. My family more or less consisted of 3 valleys in Wales, and that was it. They all came from this little place. You have to go back to about the 13th century to start getting outside of Wales influences. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not entirely sure. But look, times are different, okay? You might go your entire life without ever knowing what existed across the one of the hills that you could see out your bedroom window. All right. For all you know, there could have been a dragon on the other side of it. That's probably why you never tried to go over there. Ow. Why you gotta be so mean? Mia Van is dead. Poor Mia Van. Meanwhile, in Europe, my parents, Dutch, grandparents, Dutch, great-grandparents, still Dutch. Next 20 generations up, still Dutch. Yeah, no, that's kind of the way it is, yeah. My lord, we are not dealing with the aggro managing well here. What on earth is going on? Mia Van, have you had an opportunity? Okay. Badness and sadness. I was told to flee, and I did not flee in time. Oh, it was Tiny Goliath who shouted flee. I don't know. You didn't say flee, flee, flee. I didn't know if to take you seriously or not. Was it just that Mia Van hadn't had an opportunity to relog yet for the taunt? Let's assume that Leafin survives and can get one of us up. Good night, Mr. Coleman. You have a good one, mate. Then Curtin said, well, my country is younger than Aavak's family, and I'm not indigenous, so it's a bit unfair to expect us to not have moved around. That is fair. That is completely fair. And there are some nations that are celebrating birthdays that are a smaller number than the age of houses that I've lived in. What's that saying? I keep forgetting, but I think it's something like, in America, 200 miles is a short distance, and in Britain, 200 years is a short amount of time, or something along those lines. $200 miles was your commute? Dear Lord. How long was your commute, Javrik? One of the nice things about resing in this game is you might not be able to see it too closely, but you kind of got your health is increasing in the negative. You have a respawn timer. Once this timer runs out, you're forced to respawn. However, as long as someone can drop a heal on you, it reduces it. You're basically inverse healing the damage until you are then positive in health again. So as Isdar is doing here, you can absolutely, if you're still in the middle of a fight, you can just drop a heal and just refocus on what else you're doing, just enough to keep them from, completely passing into the light. Thank you very much, Star. Much appreciated, mate. Oh, I need a little bit more sap. There we go. I really do like that effect, because a corpse is just... well, you're just unconscious, basically. You're bleeding out, but you can be healed just as anyone usually would be if they were just stood up and not wounded. This corpse still has eyes, yeah. Miavan, you don't need sap. You're a fighter. Tiny Goliath definitely needs sap, though. I had a work site out in the desert, about 2.5 hours each way. Oof. The longest I've ever had to commute was something like 40 minutes each way. And that was largely because, you know, European cities, you never travel in a straight line in an old city. The bus cannot simply get on the road and go directly to the place it wants to let you off. Instead, it has to go through like some sort of snakes and ladders-ian collection of alleyways and small one-way roads. So, as the crow flies, it might have been like 10 minutes. As the bus travels, though, 40. Yeah, 25 minutes on the bus for a 10-minute walk. Yeah, pretty much. All right. I still need 1 Kippy and 2 Kizor. What's everyone else sat at? Dutra says, I once decided to walk home from my uni, and it took almost exactly the same amount of time. For Kizor, for Haiku. Okay. So, is that a no on taking on Vicious Kippy again, or do we just need to be much more on the ball with the healing? Like, what went wrong there? Was it an unpleasant spawn? I mean, they do socially aggro. Oh, that one's gone to sleep. EP. If you get really close, you can even hear it breathing, almost snoring. Super EP. Yeah, too many different things targeted. Okay. Well, if we're going to fight this Kippy, we need to do it now whilst nothing else is right on top of it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a replay of what last happened. Okay. Melee fighters, group up on Miavan. The Kippy don't have an AoE. But I do have an AoE heal, so if you are close to them, it's going to make it much more sap efficient for me to keep you up and to keep you charged with stamina for the fight. That was nice, yeah, failed. Gonna need some sap my way. Thank you very much. Whoever noticed that and got on that before I even mentioned it, thank you. Okay, arms down. Right, that was a kill for me, so it's now just 2 Kazoa for me. Did anyone else need Kippy? Because I didn't notice anyone else mentioning Kippy, just Kazoa. Okay, Kazor is the next target then. Let's wander over to where the Kazor are. Man, I'm going to have so many points to spend. One of the other things I really like about this game is the world, because it's you know, one of the major themes is the biology of the world. It's modeled to a certain degree. And by that, I mean that herds of herbivores will move around. They'll migrate based on the weather conditions, the season. Season and weather are actually very, very big components in what kind of items you can gather from any area, not just the animals that might be there at a certain season, but the things that will be available in the ground at a certain season. Likewise, herds of creatures, whether herbivore or predator, will migrate based on threat. So if they're being wiped out by predators that have come across them in the path, they'll just move, and the predators will in turn eventually move because they no longer have food, and so on and so forth. It's really, really interesting. But on the kind of the player scale, it just feels like any other MMO. Some things have social aggro, some things don't. Some things will social aggro for other types of creatures. Like some of the more passive creatures are ferociously socially protective. So even different species that are under attack in their vicinity, they will move to engage the threat. Much as you find in real life, some of the most ferocious creatures are actually herbivores and will otherwise completely leave you alone, but you start causing a bit of a ruckus in their immediate vicinity, they go full aggro. Do we know where the Kazoa are? But yeah, the world is really, really interesting, especially because of the season and the weather effects having such a big impact on what you're going to encounter. A season passes about every 4 real life days, and you've got your typical 4 seasons in this: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Should we grab mounts first? Yes, possibly. If the Kazoa are a decent distance away. Oh, and it goes without saying that the music in the background, if a little bit soft, is not in-game music. We've just got some Divinity Original Sin 2 on in the background. I don't want to play with the Jarving. They disarm. Okay, the Jarving has decided the tiny Goliath is tasty. I want to quickly check if I can hand in any quests before I hop on my mount and leave this area. Yeah, the amount of deaths caused this year by cows. Yes, absolutely. No, nothing we need to do there. Fair enough. Where is my mount? Animals, mount 1. It's over by the Kami, I believe. Ah, Leafin, being eaten by Gingo. The annoying thing is, once we get the Kazoa, we're going to have to come back here just to hand in that one quest. We've got 50% of a level left till I get better healing magic. Ooh, nice. What level are you at, Tiny Goliath? $49, yeah. I am at 46, so I'm not that far behind. All right, lead the way. Whoever knows where the Kazoa live. The Kizor, rather, not Kazoa. That's an entirely different species. Just to make things confusing. Demi has crossed level 80 melee. Very oh, they're there. Literally just around the corner. My lord. It almost feels enormously unnecessary to have gone and gotten the mounts. Okay. Ready for you to engage? I wish there was a bit of a visual representation of the taunt going off. Because quite often the only way I know is that suddenly the mob is turned around and basically flexes at you. It flexes its intent. I got the credit on that one. Completing this one is probably going to take us a little while since it's going to be handing out 1 credit to a random person in the team with each kill. And all of us need a couple. Hello, Bodok. Who are they fighting over there? Oh, they're trying to till the ground to get smaller insects to eat. That is interesting. Is it credit by last hit or more credit? Oh, it isn't last hit. No. It just recognizes that everyone in the team needs... You don't even actually need to be part of the combat. As long as you're in the team, when the team kills it, anyone who has need of it in their quest log, they all get put into a pool and then it just randomly selects someone to give credit for the kill. The only time you actually need to be involved in the combat is if the quest specifically wants you to loot something off the corpse. And then it's not really a physical looting, like you don't have to go up to the corpse and quarter it to get the gubbins off, but rather someone who had a part in killing it and thus was actually present for the death will be credited as having looted that thing off the corpse. Like, for example, you collected tufts of hair off that animal, or you collected its skull or something. Something which you don't usually loot off their carcasses. But yeah, it'll still be randomly assigned even then to someone who needed that kill credit in the group of people who attacked. Or healed. You know, you'll get credit for providing support to the combatants just as much as actually engaging the target directly. So it's quite smart in the way it credits those. With much weaker enemies, much safer enemies to hunt, it's actually nice and easy for a bunch of people to all group up in a team all take the same quest, but ultimately all distribute and disperse across the map, hunting different parts of the large quest chain, so that everyone in the group is basically getting credit whilst being able to relocate to the different camps and spawn sites more effectively. Right, I just got my kill. Yeah, the Kazors seem quite squishy, actually. They're not like the Kippy. I think the thing which makes the Kippy so dangerous is their bloody stun. You get hit by that, you're dead now, because in the time it takes you to recover from the stun, it's going to have just been dealing 400 damage per shot. Sure, if Leafin wants to solo one, by all means. There's one right behind me, Leafin. You're more than welcome to it if you'd like. Yeah, the Kippy are also extremely healthy. They are both tanks and quite intimidating in combat. Okay. Grab that and get out of your way so I don't get pulled into the fight. Is this part of your technique so far, Leafin? You lulling it into a false sense of security? Oh yeah, no, this is 10. This is 12 levels higher. Is it? Oh, the mean Kizor. There's one. There's a mean Kizor just over there. Didn't know dyslexia. It made 3 digits look like 2. I literally didn't look at it. I just looked for a Kizor. I actually never even clicked on it to see what its level was. And pop. Yep. Comfortably took it out. I don't even think that was at your max range, was it? Defensive magic 47. 3 more levels and my defensive magic starts to specialize. Right, how many more Kizor kills do we need? Leave you, it is completely random. So one person might complete the quest way ahead of everyone else. It's just dumb luck, really, on that one. Leafin is done. Haiku's done. I'm done. Anyone not done? Anyone still need any kills? So I do believe all I have now is to give quests in. Okay, looks like we're done. All right then, time for us to mount up and head on out. First, gonna go and hand in the Kippy quest, and then I need to go and find Vanny Quilo to hand in a bunch of other quests. We got 160 points to spend? 196. Ow, that hurt. What hit me? Where's the king go? Let's watch the sentinels destroy it. Splat. Good old sentinels. Actually, what I'm going to do is because I'm going to be lazy. Hello, 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 hello. Would you like to follow me? Yes, you would. Perfect. I'm just going to lead this one straight back to the Sentinels and have them wipe it out so we can talk with the NPC a little bit easier. I know we could easily kill it, but once again, being very lazy. There we go. Grab this one as well. Why is Mia Van dead? Caldy, come online. Gone offline. Come online. Let's try that again. Hello. Hello. There we go. Nice and nice. There most certainly is room in group, Caldy. What's wrong, Sheila? Your mech tube? What's wrong? Oh no, did your mech tube get minced by the AoE? Oh no! Oh, that sucks. Well, you can rent it at the stable if you've got enough ellipse. Have you got enough? If not, you can just bring another mech tube down here. Like, buy an... oh, actually, no. You can interact with its corpse, I believe. Did you have a lot? Because if it was... If you had a lot of stuff stored on it, then... it might be easier to just res it at a stable, but... Ellipse are probably more valuable than being used like that. Yeah, you should be able to interact with your animal's inventory using the animal tab, which is Shift P by default. Hey, Xenophanes! Hello, Canav TV. How you doing, mate? Aavak, my friend, and a man from a near place. First-time chatter, long-time fan. I'm a CDDA viewer. Welcome. You found me in the wild. If it's just normal inventory, then it's not really much of a muchness, honestly. It's what, like 1,400 or something to get a new mech tube mount. You haven't named it or anything. Okay. Well, we don't have far to go in order to hand in the last of the quest, and then you can just portal back. We need to go about 600 meters in this direction. Okay, well, considering you are on foot, I'm going to dismount as well. And we can just kill things that we, aggressive critters in our path as we go rather than risk being all caught together. How do I know where to go? I clicked on the compass and I chose missions, and because my mission step is to hand things in, it's pointing me at the mission giver. So I just select the mission giver and it's basically painted a target on them. Yeah, if you have no quest to hand in, yeah, you can just head back then in that case. All right. Well, if Sheilab's just portaling back, we may as well mount up and just burn a beeline straight towards them. I cannot portal back because my mech tube, sadly, is not smart enough to know how to use a teleport pack with the caravan. Very sad. Jarvings, Gingos, all sorts of nasties, pretty much everywhere. Ow. I'm basically just gonna outrun them past the Kippies and the Psychoplas. I think I actually might be on the wrong side of this this chasm. I'm not entirely mistaken. We lost them? We have. Let me just have a look at the map. Oh, no, we're going on the right side now. In fact, here they be. Go. Bunch of missions handed in for some extra from extra standing. Alright, where am I? With Sacred Sap minus 46, minus 9 with the Siblings of the Weeds, who that journeyman liaises for. First Deserters, I'm actually at minus 69. Anti-nice. They really don't like me. And the Ancient Dryads would be happy if not only I was dead, but my entire bloodline. Nicent, yes, indeed. But my Kami standing has improved by 3 points, from minus 18 to minus 15. So, I mean, there is that. We could visit the siblings on the way, yeah. But, you know what? Sure, let's visit the siblings on the way. But I am going to be you know, I'll see them, but I am heading straight back to Yarkanis. Because I have so many points to spend, it is kind of bonkers. Community Night is kind of making me itch to play Eco again, but I don't need that time sink right now. Oh, that's the problem. Eco can be an enormous time sink. Wow, that Jarving is frozen in time. But yeah, Eco is a huge time sink because whereas with this, I can log in or I don't have to. I'm happy to play or not play. I can hop on when I've got time. Eco, people are relying on you to be on. Like, actively relying. Like, if you're the cook, hey, you don't log on, people can't do work. And it's kind of like that for every profession, but like the cook is particularly egregious. One egregious example because literally people that can barely do anything in their day, and their experience gain is ruined if they're not eating proper food. Yes, they could go out and forage tomatoes, but that's just gonna, you know, throw their nutrient balance off, and then their experience gain is going to go down, and you know, you're basically putting them days behind by not having logged in. And it's like, oh, I stopped playing Eve because it felt like a job. And if I didn't log in, the rest of my team was suffering. I didn't need that again. Ow! Ow! Double ow! Well, mech tube paradise over here. Oh, this is where the mech tube hers have all traveled to. I swear, if I walk in here and get killed, I shouldn't. Look! Stare into the void. Actually, let me bring my mount far away from there, because those Psychopla and Cratcher can do AoE attacks and will absolutely flatten your mech tube. Stare into the void. I approve. I approve mightily. Images box. Retrieve an image fragment. Okay. Oh. Oh. Atismus. You've completed the image for 0 times. I guess I will find more image fragments to finish building it up. Okay, I'm not going to take any quests, but actually I should check if there are quests here to take so I know for the future. Overseer, would you give me quests? No? Is there someone here who would? The tribe welcomer might. Yes. Okay. I'm going to decline for now, but that's good to know. So I would be able to use this place to get some quests and ramp up my standings. Give it a hug. I'm not sure it wants one from me. Okay. At this point, I guess we continue in this direction. If I can go down, I cannot. Maybe I can go down in this by going around. Nope. Invisible wall. Nope. Invisible wall. Why? Why must I be punished so? Ah! I'm trapped. I'm trapped in a box with no sides. This is awful. Ooh, what be that down there? Rubble. Okay. That feels like there's secrets down there. That definitely feels like a place that is full of secrets. Okay, let's just go down the way we came up. Thank you very much, Demi, for leading us over here. It was good to find out. Oh yeah, getting back to the road. The way the Psychopla make the rattling noise is disconcerting. Yes. The noise the Psychopla make reminds me of that of the like little forest spirits in Princess Mononoke. What's wrong with the plant brain maracas? Hey, Manu. Something that looks like a brain shouldn't rattle like a skeleton. I mean, that's just your opinion, man. Border blights over there. I can't wait to get to the Arcanus and spend all these points. Okay, back to the 0 to 50 zone. Hello, Border Blights. Hello, Bane. I've gone the wrong way. Bane Ragas. Still chasing me? No, you're not. Okay. Maybe you are? Nope. You're eating a Yubo. You're trying to eat a Bodok. It's a baying Gingo, so the baying Gingo will win that fight. Uh-oh. Oh! Okay, my mech troop stopped for a moment because it needed to eat so it could keep its stamina up and keep running. But for a second, I thought I'd run out of food. Just as a Gingo decided to make me its food. That is Turn of Tide over there. Don't really need them right now. Also, chat. While I have not drawn much attention to it yet, notice in yonder sky a silhouette painted against the clouds. On a clear night, you can get a much better view of that. Now, typically, if you're able to see an enormous thing in the sky, a celestial body dominating the sky, usually means you're smaller and in orbit of it. So I would hazard a guess that Attis is in fact not a planet at all, but a moon. Uh-oh. Damn, he seems to be being blinded over and over. We are home! Rejoice! Right, Mount can go into the stable. What I'm really looking forward to is finding out what trainers we can get in the guild hall now. In all of those trainer rooms. I am so hopeful that we're going to be able to get all of the culture trainers. So in the crafting trainer room, getting trainers from the different cultures. Right, I'm going to use fight trainer first. Let's go and have a chit chat with you. Right. So, first and foremost, want to upgrade my balance. Balance is now 40. I'm going to put another 2 points into it, because this dictates the quality of rifle I'm able to use. Next. I should probably not neglect that, but I'm going to. Gonna get a better HP credit. 2 of them. And now... gonna learn a better hit rate stanza. Currently, I only know how to hit the quadruped in the head. Which is useful. Because right now, that's the thing I attack the most. Hitting something in the head gives you a chance of stunning it. Hitting it in the arms, chance to disarm. So on and so forth. Obviously, on a quadruped, they're not going to wield anything. But if you were to shoot a human in the arms... legs slows them down, that sort of thing. Can also hit chitin in various body parts, but I think what I would like is just to go for accurate attack. So delete those right now. Do I have another accurate attack here, or is that it? No, I don't. That's a shame. Given that then... I think I'm going to pick up metabolism. Oh, I don't have enough skill points. Oh, no, I don't. Never mind. Very well. Right, I want to change this action up to hit rate 4. Do I have enough to pay for it? Well, I do. Okay, that's cool. So that'll give me faster attack speed. I can go ahead and spend on this one. There we go. Very accurate in the head. That seems like a good one. This one over here is very accurate. High attack speed. Can I add fewer stamina credit? Not easily, but I can add consume hit points. I don't want to wear out my weapon. But I mean, you know, it's 50 hit points because this can lose up to 1 durability per attack on the weapon, which is very expensive. You will burn through your weapon shockingly fast doing that. Oh, actually, will I have to? Ooh, I might have to. Huh. All right. Okay, well, this one's there in case I'm super low on stamina then. Good enough. Let's edit this. This will give me accuracy with the weapon up to quality of 50, which is, you know, as high as I can go right now. So that's good enough. Right. Now then, time to talk with the magician trainer. I've got 96 points to spend. That's a lot of points to spend. Right, I'm going to get the root upgrade, the stamina gift upgrade, heal upgrade, sap gift upgrade, sleep upgrade, and fear upgrade. All of those. That is now a bonkers powerful heal compared to what I was using previously. It was 140, it is now 165, and that'll get multiplied by my amps, which give 77% increase. And I can run it. Just. I honestly need to go through all of these and update them. Right, root needs to be a 50, that's fine. Now, you're already a 50. I don't want to take you higher than that because, well, I can take you as high as 60, but the next one is 65, so it no longer benefits from the amp. Basically, the amp dictates the, will only affect skills of a certain level. Oh, this is going to be rough. Yeah, I don't buy the casting time upgrades really anymore. Ooh, okay, it's going to cost me 55 HP in order to cast this. That is expensive, but that's okay. We'll make our way through it. Right. As for the drains, do I have better than that? No. Okay. I don't need to use health to cast the dots, though, which is quite nice. I can dial those down a bit. But I'm still going to have to wait a little bit before I set up my main attack spells, unfortunately. Do I have anything for fear? Yeah, I can take fear up to 50 now. So average enemy skill level of 50, I can affect them. The second I manage to get my defensive affliction specialization, I will probably dump a lot of points into upgrading those so they will actually affect the things that I'm attacking these days. Right, with that, we've got the other things, the ricochet and the spray effect. I'm just not feeling those yet. Now, there's stun, madness, and blind. And I could go for blind. Blinds enemies whose average skill level does not exceed 15. Stun is pretty nice, though. Blind, actually, you know what? Thinking about it, when I'm playing with allies, blinding the enemy would probably be the better thing, because if they successfully parry or dodge, they can often pay, like, those credits can be used to make a more powerful attack. Like, there are plenty of ways of creating an attack which you couldn't possibly afford to pay the cost of using that ability outside of a after parry or after dodge, because those come with they're pretty hefty credit components because they restrict the use of that ability so heavily. So blindness might amplify how frequently they can use those. So I'm actually going to pick up blindness then. And now I'm going to just spend what points I have left on upgrading it. Okay, good enough. With what's left, I will upgrade my wisdom, so my passive my regen of mana is a bit better. Affliction and blind. There we go. I can take it all the way up to 50 straight away. All right, not too bad. Man, took me that long to get all those points, and it was that quick to lose them. Or to spend them, rather. All right. I have been taking my tea breaks. Thank you very much for your routine. I appreciate you checking in. No, the weapons can't be fixed at all, Xenophanes. This is not a game where things last forever. The economy continues to turn because you can't just repair something if it breaks. Much like in the real world, you can't simply keep repairing a sword. Eventually, you've got to rebuild it. You can maintain one, and it'll last for a lot longer. But there are certain faults which it becomes a sort of Theseus after some point. You know, once you've had to introduce so much new metal in order to repair the spine of the blade, you know, at what point does it stop really being the original blade? So as a consequence, there is a constant churn of crafts. So as a result, crafting remains a viable profession throughout the game, and especially kind of I don't know if this was an intended effect, but it certainly seems to be the consequence of it. Low-level crafts remain viable for a long time. Like newbie crafters show up, and their crafts will be bought because they are cheaper and quick replacements versus the much more expensive bespoke items that are made. And people don't tend to churn out as much. Just you will like grind a craft for skill gain, but you'll often just sell those to the trader rather than selling on to players. In fact, in a lot of cases, you will build, like if a player wants something, you will build it bespoke for them. They'll contact you, you'll agree on a price or an exchange of materials, and you will make that specifically to their needs, largely because of the effect of all of the components. Let me bring up my crafting for a second. Jewelry crafting, sure, this is a good example. So bring this up, have a look at this. Depending on what I use, it will change the effect of all of these stats. Could be from anything. So let's pop that in there and this in there and then that there as well. It's changing the balance of these. This is just a protective item. Most jewelry is purely protective, though you add on boosts as well, and it can enhance your base stats. But like weapons, like the bullets I use for my gun, certain bullets extend the range of my gun. They have a longer flight time. Certain ones are faster, so the fire rate of my gun will be better. Some will affect the damage, and depending on how you balance that, you can have a wildly different profile of like a different outcome of an action using the same weapon. Magic focus will change what type of effect on spells. You'll notice that my amplifiers have certain effects. We have a look at this. So it gives mostly 77s across the board, except for defensive affliction magic only gets 55% bonus on its cast speed. But you could end up with amps that really only benefit one type of magic, either offensive or defensive, and maybe even more specialized than that. And those are the sort of things that you might get made bespoke. You talk to a crafter who they would know the materials needed to achieve certain outcomes. You might not, as just someone who uses that tool. You don't necessarily need to know the ins and outs of how to make it that behave that way. But you'd speak with a crafter and explain that, well, I am a defensive affliction mage. I would like bonuses on that. I will have two sets of amplifiers, one that I'll use for offensive, one that I'll use for defensive. So I would like this to really not care about the offensive side of it at all, just all of the bonuses into the defensive side with an emphasis on affliction. And they could then go and make that. And if you knew that you'd only ever really be using these in certain biomes, you might explain that, well, actually, I'm going to want some sort of focus on certain environs. And again, that could be built into it. It's really, really interesting. When am I next due? The stream will be ending in about 10 minutes, Road Train. So that's when I'm going to be going and getting another drink. But yeah, we've actually covered a lot of ground this stream. Massive leveling upgrade for me. But on top of that, also, we've got the guild hall. And you know what? I'm going to head back to the guild hall right now. You heard him. Our shift ends in 10. That's right. You will be released from the content mines and you can return to the salt mines where you live. So, for anyone who wasn't here, when we got it, this is our guild hall. Now, there is sadly a bug with ours at the moment, which means that the guild chests aren't working, so I'm going to need to raise the support ticket for that. But if we have a look in here, we should have 6,000 capacity bulk chests, 2 of them. And unfortunately, yeah, no, that doesn't work. So very sad. We have got, I like it, 1,111,111 nappers in the guild bank. So this is our guild hall. We've got, we will be able to decorate this, by the way. We'll be able to place things down. I can do that now. I just don't have anything to place. So furnishings and decorations and that sort of thing. But the guild council room, I'll go ahead there. This is the council chamber. And this is all uniquely Mattis, Mattis aesthetics. So very, very Mattesian. Phyros would be more like sandstone or fire brick, lots of like sconces and that sort of thing. I imagine Trikers would probably be much more water, like almost water park in a way. Maybe like floating, kind of like floating boats with walkways and stuff like that between them. I'm not entirely sure. I've never been to Trikerland. Zorai would be very different in the jungle. But also we have space for guild trainers for all of the 4 types main branches of training down here. And I don't know, but I'm suspecting it may end up being the case that we have the ability to bring trainers from different regions in here. Got like a little area to chill out here. We've got, I think this is, yeah, the Craft Guild trainer. Over here we have the Guild Fight trainer, and then harvesting and magic in that direction. Hey, Ika, how are you doing, mate? I'll have you know the salt mine's really tasty. Thank you. Hey. Also changes my life. I'm just working through those. You playing this too, Leafy? Yeah. The whole guild is here. Well, I say the whole guild, the whole community. Quite a few dapplings are here at the moment. It is our community game at present. We stream on Saturdays, pretty much all day streams, and then play all the way through the week. But I hope the adjustment through those changes is going well for you, Iker, or at the very least going smoothly. As smoothly as one can hope, whatever the adjustment required may be. However, yeah, as I mentioned, the guild chests are currently not quite working as they should. We will get that resolved, though. It'll likely just be a case of a day or two and me raising a support ticket and then a day or two to get that all fixed for us. Once we have that, then we will have a massive storage space in here. Each of the 2 chests that we have presently, and we can build up to 20 chests in there, has a 6,000 bulk capacity, which is truly shockingly massive. As a player, I have a bulk capacity of 300, so does my mount. The packer, the literal beast of burden, has a 500 capacity. That is fantastically good news, Iker. Don't have cancer anymore. Well done, mate. That is absolutely amazing news, buddy. Congratulations. I hope the surgery recovery time, I hope that goes as smoothly as possible, but fantastic news, mate. Right, but that is more or less where we're going to leave it for this community day/night stream. We're coming up to about the 6.5 hour mark, so it's been 13.5 hours of Ryzom today, more or less. A little bit less than the 17 hours we did on the first day, but that's fine. We had to get through that enormous tutorial. More than welcome, Disillusioned Acronym. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope this will have tempted a few more of you to consider hopping on and joining us. Again, it is basically free to play up to about half the content that the game has to offer, which is by itself months and months worth of gameplay. And then double that if you're interested in going for a premium subscription. At this point, we're going to need to work to restore our various financial situations after everyone pitched in so much money in order to get the guild hall up and running. I'm really happy we managed to get that going and build it in Yrcanis. Getting the guild hall in the capital city of the Matters is huge, in my opinion. I'm not sure if we will be able to have guild halls in other places, though. It may be possible that we can establish guild halls, kind of like branches, in every major city. That would be a pretty big undertaking, though. But nevertheless, I'm pretty happy with what we've managed to get. This is the Steam version. They're pretty much exactly the same. I'm actually running this one on the standalone client because the Steam version, for some reason, I play on the Steam version off camera and it's exactly the same, looks exactly the same, feels exactly the same, but for some reason the Steam version does not like game capture in OBS, whereas the standalone version does, and that is the only reason that during the streams I play on the standalone version. Because, frankly, if I can capture in game capture on OBS, I will. It is just so much better than having to do it via display capture. But with that, gonna wrap things up here. We had a good night of hunting, leveling, grinding for dappers, grinding for materials in some cases, killing a couple of bosses. We took down the did we do the Ragakin this? I think we did. We did the Ragas boss, we did the Bodok boss, and we did the Krapini boss. We got the guild hall set up. It is spring. The next time we stream, it's going to be autumn. The first stream, it was winter. Sorry, yeah, it'll be, actually. No, yeah, it will. We will miss. Sad to say, yeah, it's going to be autumn the next time you see this. So we're gonna miss out on summer. Sorry, all you summer fans. Maybe another time. Yeah, display capture is terrible. I always found this game interesting because the server side is open source, if I remember right. Yeah, it's open source. Summer's too hot anyway. I agree. I'm not a fan. But that is going to be it for us. Thank you ever so much, everyone who joined in on the festivities in-game or just hang out with us in chat. I much appreciate your company, but that shall be it for us for Community Game Night number 2. Next week, we will jump into number 3. But until then, and from myself, no, stop. Okay, I'm going to have to make you sit down. Sit down. Oh, actually, no, free look. Aha! There we go. No. You suck. Fine. Sit down. Can I? Why is my camera locked above my head? Fine. I'll just look at myself through the flowers. From myself. And Tiny Goliath. And all of the other Dapplings, distributed across Yarkanis. Take care, everyone.